Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Abid. My roll number is BP1650131. I am the member of group number 32 and my main topic is acute glomerulopathies and I am covering the case study of topic post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. Introduction. First of all, we have to know what is glomerulonephritis. So, it is an inflammation of the tiny filters in our kidneys. Glomeruli remove excess fluid, electrolytes and waste from our bloodstream and pass them into our urine. Glomerulonephritis can come on suddenly acute or gradually chronic. Glomerulonephritis occurs on its own or as part of another disease such as lupus or diabetes. Severe or prolonged inflammation associated with glomerulonephritis can damage our kidneys. Treatment depends on the type of glomerulonephritis patient may have. Here we have to know a little difference. Glomerulonephritis is totally different from nephrotic syndrome, and nephrotic syndrome is a kidney disorder that causes our body to pass too much protein in the urine. So these are two different things. Now, acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, also called as APSGN, acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis is an inflammatory disease of the kidneys which occurs 2 to 3 weeks after skin or throat infection such as pharyngitis, etc., with a particular type of bacteria called group A streptococcus or occasionally group C or G streptococcus. Here in this slide, on the left side is the picture of the normal kidney cells and physiology, and on the right side is the APSGN affected kidney picture under microscope. In the right side picture, we can see complement C3 and immunoglobulin G humps, while in normal kidney, these are not present. So it is a pathological alteration of kidney. In the normal kidney picture, we can see that Bowman's space is less, while in the A column of the right side picture, we can see the Bowman's space is wider. So it is also a pathological alteration. Case study. We report a 14-month-old girl who presented with frank hematuria. Frank hematuria is a condition of gross hematuria. It is a very bad and severe condition in which we can see the blood in the urine with our naked eyes, and it is not usually always pain associated. Frank hematuria and nephrotic syndrome following group A streptococcal pharyngitis, which was confirmed by laboratory investigations. The patient underwent a renal biopsy to confirm the diagnosis and was treated with prednisolone. The proteinuria and hematuria resolved completely in 8 weeks. Our case demonstrates that APSGN should be considered in evaluating hematuria and nephrotic syndrome in infants and children below 2 years of age. Case report. A previously healthy 14-month-old girl presented to a private clinic with 4-day history of progressive periorbital puffiness and edema in lower limbs associated with tea-colored urine, which is a condition of hematuria that was noticed 1 day prior to presentation. Urinalysis showed protein of more than 300 mg per dl, numerous RBCs and negative WBCs. A 24-hour urine collection revealed a nephrotic range proteinuria of 2.5 gram. She was diagnosed as a case of nephrotic syndrome. Here we will solve this case in the form of SOAP notes. So here we will talk about the subject, and in this our chief complaint is gross hematuria and proteinuria, which is a nephrotic syndrome condition. Past medical history is group A streptococcal pharyngitis, and current medications are prednisolone 2 mg per kg per day. Object. In object, we will talk about lab findings, and in the lab findings here we can see that there is a condition of hypertension, that is the blood pressure is 110/70, which is absolutely not normal for 14-month-old infant, and the complement C3 level is very much low, that is 0.169, and it is also not in the range, and the ASO titer, which is anti-streptolizin titer, is very highly elevated, which is 3320, which is also not in the range. So we have to manage all these. Now, renal ultrasound revealed kidneys of normal shape and size, and a core of renal cortical tissue containing sufficient number of glomeruli was divided and further studied by light microscopy. And the results of the histology studies showed hypercellular glomeruli with endothelial cells and mesangial cells proliferation and neutrophils infiltration. An epithelial cell crescent was observed in one glomerulus. Electron microscopy revealed the presence of numerous subepithelial hump-like deposits. Immunofluorescence results demonstrated the presence of immune complexes along the glomerular capillary wall, which were positive for immunoglobulin G and C3. Therefore, the tissue studies revealed characteristic features compatible with the diagnosis of APSGN. Here is the APSGN pathology, the picture of the girl which is affected with the APSGN. This is the renal biopsy picture of that girl, and it resembles with the above picture that is explained before with pathological alterations. Here we can see the wider Bowman's space and hump like C3 and IgG also. Assessment. At presentation, she was a febrile, that is, she was having fever and had generalized edema. There was a history of upper respiratory tract infection 3 weeks prior to her presentation. Gross hematuria and proteinuria is seen. She was also diagnosed with the group A streptococcal pharyngitis. Prednisolone was started before confirming APSGN to manage hematuria and proteinuria and to reduce the inflammation. The 14-month-old patient was not taking any other medication already, so there is no chances of any drug-to-drug interaction or there are no any contraindications. Now plan. The patient was started initially on prednisolone 2 mg per kg per day before confirming the diagnosis. Then prednisolone was continued for 4 weeks followed by 1.5 mg per kg on alternate days for another 4 weeks. Gross hematuria resolved within 10 days at a follow-up at 8 weeks and 5 months later. Normal blood pressure was recorded, which was initially it was 110/70, and with completely negative proteinuria and hematuria. And that is, it shows that hematuria and proteinuria is totally treated, and there was also increase in the C3 level, that is, it is now 0.69, initially it was 0.169, and there is a reduction in ASO titer, that is 776, and initially it was very highly elevated, that is 3320, and there is a normalization of serum albumin also. Discussion. Acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis is a common glomerulonephritis in developing countries, and it is most common in the children aged 5 to 12 years and uncommon before the age of 3 years. APSGN can be found in children less than 3 years old but rarely in infants. Now conclusion, APSGN is a self-limiting disease with complete recovery in the majority of patients. The use of steroid was reported in severe adult case of APSGN. Results of these studies showed that further progress toward more serious sequels of the disease was significantly decreased by the steroid treatment. The use of steroids in children with severe APSGN was not reported before because normally steroid is not recommended for children. So there is a reason, because if steroids, if taken for longer period of time, it can cause a stunted growth in children and in the teenagers. So that's why steroids are avoided usually in children, and other substitutes are recommended instead. But prednisolone and dexamethasone are such type of drugs that can be given for short period of time in treating inflammatory disorders. So in this case, prednisolone was started initially before diagnosis was confirmed, and it was continued for a total of 8 weeks. The treatment with prednisolone in our patient resulted in fast improvement and rapid recovery. In conclusion, our case report illustrates that APSGN should be considered in the evaluation of hematuria and nephrotic syndrome in infants, and that the use of steroid in these cases can result in a favorable outcome and rapid recovery. The end, and thank you for listening.